I want to ask you a question while I'm thinking about it, Kyle. I had read on one of your blogs on Stormcloud, and you were talking about how the lack of rest will hurt the Chargers this year. And I know they have 6 games versus teams on extra rest and 0 games against teams with short rest. But I know you talked about rest disparity. It's becoming a problem in the league. As the league tries to get creative with additional primetime games. And I know the Chargers have only 1 game this season where they have an edge in rest against their opponent. And on top of that, they also have more travel time in terms of mileage than any team in the NFL. Could you go a little deeper into that for me?
Yeah. So it's an article that Warren Sharp posted, and it's just an interesting take at looking at schedules, not just in comparing strength to schedule from the year before, based on the team's records from the year before that you're playing this season. It's trying to get a little more nuanced with it and see, okay, how many teams are coming in with, we've had seasons where it feels like we're always playing against teams that are coming off a bye, and they've had, 14 days to scheme against us.
Right.
And it's the point of the article isn't necessarily to just say like, hey, the Chargers are screwed this season, but it is to just point out like, hey, there are other mechanics at play that if the league is as focused on parity as we say they are, that we need to be looking at, because you can't have teams repeatedly playing Thursday night games and then getting that extra rest and coming back around to play another team. There should be things that we're doing, like, if a team plays a team should only be playing on Thursday if they're coming off a bye week. It doesn't make sense for a team to play Sunday and then play Thursday.
Okay.
That kind of thing that we'd like to avoid. Now, I don't think I don't think this regime, I don't think Jim Harbaugh is going to be looking at that schedule and going, what the heck? We're getting screwed over. He's a no nonsense kind of guy. Team travel days as well I think can actually, or travel miles can work as much for you as against you. If you've got a team that's bonding on the plane, that's stuck together and having a lot of fun together, that might be a really good thing. Sometimes those away game home trips. Remember that one year, guys, where we just chose to not come back home and we just stayed wherever we were because we had another game, and the team bonded from it.
Yes.
That stuff can work for and against us. So it's just something to keep an eye on and see, on those short rest weeks, is it hurting us? But what's your take overall, Garrett? Would you be, I know you saw that article. Are you concerned about that yourself?
I think it's a very interesting take, because I love the nuances that we're going into to see like, all right, hey, it's because I don't like the strength of schedule, because based off a record the season before, which, okay, we've had the draft, we've had free agent acquisitions. Like, our team is not the same. We have a new head coach. We have a new coaching staff. That our record last year is not going to be the team that meets us this year, right? So that goes for other teams as well. I've always stood, and I'm a big proponent of, we're just a West Coast team, and that's the cards we get dealt. Unless we're playing the NFC West, that's 2 other divisions that we're probably playing where we have to travel at least 2 time zones or 1. But most of the time, with all the teams that are concentrated in the Northeast, all the way down that Eastern Seaboard, across over to Dallas, like you do have to fly, and you have to fly a lot, and that's just the way it is. And it just so happens, what are we playing? The AFC North and the NFC South this year. So I mean, that's a lot of. It's Tampa, that's New Orleans, it's all the Atlanta. It's a bunch of East Coast teams, 2 divisions, and that's just what you get.
Yeah.